Hey folks, so I went to Walmart yesterday, and one of the things that I noticed while I was there picking up a few preps was that in the pain medicine section, where they keep the Tylenol, Advil, Ibuprofen, all that, the shelves were almost empty. About the only thing that they had was Aleve, believe it or not, and most of it was the brand name. They had very, very few boxes of the generics, but that's really all they had. And at first I was thinking it was really related to all the other shortages, but it's not. It turns out that Tylenol, Ibuprofen, and Aspirin are being recalled. There's been about 400,000 bottles of pain medicine have been recalled. Now, when I saw this headline, I was thinking, great, because we've been getting a lot of recalls here lately. From anything from metal shavings in food products to salmonella and all kinds of other stuff. And I'm the first thing that went through my mind was, what's happened with the medicine? Well, the problem is the medicine is perfectly fine. They're recalling all of this stuff because of the bottles. There's an issue with the child safety feature on the bottles that these medications are being packaged in. And that's why they're pulling all of this medicine off the shelves. Not because the medicine is bad, not because it's dangerous, but because the child-resistant feature on the packaging has an issue. So they're just taking it all off the shelves. One of the things you need to be prepping, and I hope you've been doing it up till now, I have. Medical preps are right up there with food and water and even guns and ammo, because we're going to get to a point in this country where you can't afford to go to the doctor, or like during the pandemic, a lot of people weren't allowed to go to a doctor because if you didn't have a mask in the arm, you wasn't allowed to be inside the office. So you would have to do video visits or whatever, and not all doctors were doing that. So that showed us that in an extreme emergency, we may not have access to doctors. So we need to be able to be capable of providing any of our own care. You know, have medical supplies on hand, gauze, bandages, first aid supplies, even over-the-counter medicines for illnesses, medicines for stomach issues, Pepto-Bismol, Imodium, OTC pain meds like Aspirin, Ibuprofen, Tylenol, Aleve, and I always buy the generic brands because it's the same chemical ingredient in those as the name brand. It's the exact same dosages as the name brand, but it's much cheaper. I never buy OTC pain meds by brand name unless I have no other choice, because brand names, you're simply paying nearly twice the price, if not more, only for the brand name. While the generic version is the exact same medication, the exact same strength, for a lot cheaper. So let that be your prepper tip for the day. Brand name is not important when it comes to OTC meds. You look at the drug name on the packaging: naproxen sodium, aspirin, acetaminophen, ibuprofen. That's the name you want to look at, not the brand name. Don't look for Tylenol or Aleve or whatever. That can save you a ton of money. That can stretch your money, and you'll be able to stock up a lot more. But what the pandemic has shown is that in an emergency, we may or may not be able to go to a doctor. And it may be incumbent on us to provide medical care for our families. So you need to have on hand anything that you might possibly need. Pain meds being one of those. I always keep a variety of them on hand because I don't like using just one type of pain med and that's it, because you never know what you might need and why you might need it. A good example is if all you keep on hand is acetaminophen, or let's just go with acetaminophen, Tylenol. If that's all you have on hand, there's two benefits that I can think of right now that you're not considering. One, too much of any one drug is not good for certain organs in your body. But two, aspirin has the added benefit of being able to not only be a blood thinner, but it can actually save someone's life if they're experiencing a heart attack. Ibuprofen, Tylenol, and Aleve, neither one of those will have that same effect. So if all you have on hand is Tylenol and somebody's having a heart attack and you can't get to a hospital, a bottle of aspirin could save their life, but you don't have it because all you have is Tylenol. Another thing that I've noticed, at least for me, some of the pain that I've dealt with my back, ibuprofen and Tylenol have no effect on it. But I've noticed Aleve actually does help. So, some drugs work better for some people than other drugs. So I always try to have a variety. Another issue is if you're having to treat somebody for certain pain issues over a long period of time, switch up the pain medication every so often. Don't just take like Tylenol or ibuprofen for months on end. That's not good. Take one for a little while. Take a break from that medication, then switch to a different type of pain medication. That way you're not getting overloaded with one specific type of chemical. That could actually reduce the chance of damaging your liver or kidneys or whatever. So that's why I try to keep a variety of pain medications on hand. Also, another reason is that if you have someone in your group, you don't know what allergies they might have. They might not be able to take Tylenol. They might not be able to take ibuprofen, but they can take Aleve. They might not be able to take aspirin, but they can take Tylenol. You got to prepare for individual tolerances and allergies too. So I keep a wide variety on hand. I actually keep all four of those on hand. And I keep multiple bottles on hand, and I just kind of try to rotate them out. And anytime I go to a store, Walmart, for example, I'll get the cheapest brand I can get, which is usually, I think, $1.98 for a couple of hundred capsules. I try not to buy the liquid gels unless I have to, because it's the same ingredient in a different format that just costs more money. It's more expensive. The caplets work fine for me. And for me, it's all about getting the most for your money. But this, just like during the pandemic when we saw a run on certain medications where you couldn't find anything, certain health medical supplies and health supplies, now we're seeing that again with pain medicine. I don't know how long this is going to last. Hopefully not long, but I've got enough OTC pain meds in my supplies to get me through. But the thing is, you need to be prepping to the point where you're not reliant on having to go to a doctor. You have the stuff that you need to provide whatever care your family needs. If they have an illness, if they get a cold, have cough medicine on hand ahead of time. Stock up on that. Have stomach medicine, heartburn medicine, medicine for diarrhea. Diarrhea, a lot of people don't like to talk about it. That's a major risk in a grid down situation. Because if you've got diarrhea, you can easily, or you're vomiting excessively, you can easily get dehydrated, and that dehydration will kill you faster than a lot of other things will. So you do not want to have diarrhea or suffer the problem of dehydration from diarrhea and vomiting in a grid down situation. So have medicine for things like that on hand. If you take medication, try to build up an emergency supply. That's all I've got. Until next time, folks, keep prepping, stay safe, stay vigilant, take care of each other, and I'll catch you later.